There have been so many new drugstore makeup releases over the past few months that I've been meaning to try but never got around to. Some of you know that in August I got sick for 3 weeks, so all of my plans for testing new makeup just kind of fell apart. So today we'll be testing new-ish drugstore makeup I missed out on. We're gonna jump in, but first, if you're new here, hi, my name is Miranda. Welcome to my channel where we talk all things budget beauty. If that sounds interesting to you, then become the newest member of the Slashed Squad by hitting subscribe and the bell icon. All right, these first couple products are probably beyond even the label of new-ish, but nevertheless, we're just gonna try them today. So I have the Pacifica Kind Tint Tinted Serum. This is a multitasking hydrating tinted serum that contains vegan collagen, hyaluronic acid, vitamin C, niacinamide, and caffeine. So those are all ingredients, maybe besides caffeine, that I would look for in a typical serum. Now, I read in reviews that these can oxidize in shade, which made picking a shade even harder, and I'm already not good at that. So I have shade 19. All right, let's see what the, consistency is. I was expecting a thinner consistency from a serum product. This feels very creamy. I was gonna go in with my hands, now I'm rethinking. I think I wanna go in with a brush. I'm gonna wipe this onto my Real Techniques Expert Face Brush. I feel like this brush does well with most consistencies. Okay, let's see what we got here. Ooh, that is looking very light. I hope that it actually oxidizes. It's like, it starts creamy, but as it blends, it's immediately sinking into my skin for more of a thin consistency. Aside from knowing that this oxidizes, the shade selection is a little sporadic in the medium, light medium range, particularly with undertone. Some of them just looked like they were gonna be way too yellow on me. So far, so good. I can kind of already see it adjusting. Not seeing a ton of coverage happening. And I feel like with so many of these new tinted serum products, they've gotten so popular recently, some of them have enough coverage to be like foundation level, and some of them just really give you a slight evening of the skin, slight blurring, and I have a feeling that's kind of the level we're gonna get with this. In comparison to the L'Oreal Tinted Serum, which I use regularly, that has a ton of coverage and it's buildable. Also, this shade, I trusted the process did not disappoint me. Now over here I did have a couple of red spots and a pretty dark hyperpigmentation spot. You can still see it, it's definitely more faded. This would have been the perfect coverage for me right before I broke out. Let's see what it does with this one here. That one's not too dark. Look at this shade difference, freshly applied and then like set. That is at least 3 or 4 shades difference. We got, again, a good amount of blurring going on over this hyperpigmentation spot. It is still visible. I'm not sure how I feel about this finish. There is this powdery characteristic to how it looks on my skin, which doesn't look great in some areas that are, you know, a little uneven in the moisture department. And around my nose, it's looking really bizarre. On my normal areas, like my balanced skin areas over here, it's looking very, very smooth and nice, but it will not blend over my nose, which is my oily area. It's almost like it has dried around my pores and there's literally just patchiness in the pattern of my pores. I do want to go in one more time with a damp sponge and see if that helps. Well, the coverage is definitely even lighter with the damp sponge, but I'm not getting that weird pattern of drying. I think that this could work if you have extremely normal balanced skin, but any type of oil or combination, I don't think it's gonna play nice. Well, hopefully Pacifica can redeem themselves because I do have their Liquid Cover Full Coverage Lasting Concealer. This is 100% vegan, cruelty-free. This also has hyaluronic acid in it, as well as coconut water and alpine rose, iris, and seaweed. Let's see if this can save the look. Because otherwise, like, if our base is funky, the rest of our makeup is gonna be funky. I'm trying the shade 18WL, and we'll see if we get the same amount of oxidation. It's looking pretty close. Tapping this over the areas where I am seeing some of those red or dark spots peeking through. Okay, I'm already liking this way better. It seems like this is way easier to work with and blend. I'm just gonna try building it up a tad, but I am getting the coverage that I need. It's still definitely more of a sheer foundation look today, but if we can get some of these spots covered, I will feel pretty good. I'm also just gonna go on my nose to help that area out. Didn't know I was in for a challenge today. But yeah, I think this can actually save the look. In which case, this is doing a lot of heavy lifting. Okay, so I am definitely at a point where I'm more comfortable with how my skin looks in terms of moving forward with the rest of my makeup, but it's all the concealer. The concealer is definitely doing all the work in terms of evening out my skin tone and making this look semi-presentable. So concealer, I would say, is a win, because if it could make whatever the heck was happening before salvageable, it's doing the most. This kind tint, not for me. Way too much of a hassle to apply and blend evenly because of, I guess, my combo skin. And when I'm reaching for a tinted serum or a tinted moisturizer, the whole point is I want a little bit more of an easy routine, laid back, and this did the complete opposite. Next, I have been dying to try the e.l.f. No Budge cream eyeshadows. I actually bought all of the shades that are available at Ulta, which is only like 5. I know they have more shades on their website, but I specifically had this white in mind because these are primer infused cream eyeshadows. On the website, it does say that they can be used as an eye primer. So I have the shade Wispy Cloud here, which is this beautiful pure white, and I want to use this as an eyeshadow base / primer to help enhance the wear and pigment of the eyeshadow that we put on top of it. So I'm gonna go in with like a concealer brush. Ooh, she thick. Wow, that is white. I'm just gonna go in with my finger to kind of blend the edges out a little bit. Interesting. Okay, I think I need to blend a little faster. It seems like they set incredibly quickly. And if you keep trying to blend after they are set, you'll start to get a little bit of patchiness. So I'm gonna go ahead and like pat it on where I want it here, get it even, and then blend the edge with my finger. Oh my gosh, it's already set, help. Okay, yeah, these set a bit faster than their No Budge cream eyeshadow sticks. Those give you some wiggle room to blend out. These are drying a little faster than I would like. Because I'm using this as a primer, I'm not super worried about the patchiness, but if I were trying to use this as like an actual eyeshadow, I'd probably go in with a second layer. And the blending, it's a little tricky. You have to work really fast. So a few months ago, Catrice came out with 2 new eyeshadow palettes. We have Rainforest Haze and Sandy Daze. In the United States, the only way to get your hands on Catrice products now that they pulled out of Ulta is buying them from the brand website or on Amazon. So Sandy Daze is a neutral palette. We have a mix of warm and cool tones. I am a little disappointed that we only got 3 pretty light toned mattes in this palette because I feel like a deeper brown would have really helped create some dimension. Let's take a closer look at Rainforest Haze, which is more of a green themed palette. So pretty. I have my eye on this Rainforest shade, which is this gorgeous shimmery green. This Lush shade is a green brown mossy color. I think we're gonna need to use this one today because it's just so beautiful and different. So I will go ahead and set this eyeshadow base with Mystical, which is a bone shade. So laying down a base shade will also help kind of fill in this sheerness and help the blend. That's already looking so much more even. Moving on to this Waterfall matte green shade. This is building up so nicely. It starts out a little sheer, but as I add layers to it, it's definitely looking true to pan. And by using this patting motion to apply, I feel like we're getting a really nice strong color on top of that white. Next, I just have to go in to this Lush shade. Ooh, yes, 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 yes. So I think what I want to do is sort of like a green halo eye. So I'll put this in my outer corner and inner corner. This is so pretty. It's like a muddy green in the best way possible. Also, hello? There's like no fallout. So I don't know if that's the eyeshadow's credit to take or the primer slash bases, the cream shadow we put underneath that's kind of helping everything stick well, but I'm all about it. It does look a lot less green on the eye. Maybe that's because it's layered over such a vibrant jewel green. It's giving more like brown and gold. It's definitely still a very cool color though. Now I must go into Rainforest, this bright green that is like the star of this palette. First shade that caught my eye, I am gonna go in with my finger. Look how neon that looks. Ooh, that is so pretty. Okay, so I am gonna overlap that a little bit onto that brownish shade. And then to really get the center of the lid to pop, I will take Tropical and I'm gonna put that right in the middle, which is just really gonna create more of that rounded shape and that dimension. I am noticing a little bit of gold fallout from that last shade, probably because it was the last shade layered and it was on top of another shadow, so we didn't get as much sticking action from the e.l.f. shadow. Just putting some finishing touches on this look, I'm incredibly impressed with the quality and performance of these shadows so far at their price. This is a $12 eyeshadow palette, and I would say in my experience of testing drugstore makeup for the past 10 years, green is the hardest color to get right when it comes to eyeshadow and especially drugstore eyeshadow. And I feel like all of these shades really translated accurately onto the skin, maybe a little bit with the exception of the mossy shade that we put in, just because layered with all the other colors, it does give off a little bit more brown, but being kind of a duochrome, that's not necessarily out of the ordinary, but the pigmentation's absolutely there. I love the blend that we got on this outer matte shade. I'm just kind of cleaning up the shape so that it's even on both eyes. Yeah, I am incredibly happy with this palette. Y'all know how picky I am with my liquid eyeliner. I usually discover one that I love and I will stay loyal to it for years and not really use anything else. So when the Essence Lash Princess liners came out, I was skeptical because I really do like the Lash Princess Mascara, but how is that going to translate into a liner beyond the packaging? They are adorable. They look like mini Lash Princess mascaras. Now we have black waterproof, and brown. I'm just gonna use the regular black today. One thing that I saw with this liner that I was already kind of like about is, one, it's a felt tip, so there's that, but it's like a really fat felt tip. It does come to a pretty skinny point, but there is an element of stamping that I like to do with my eyeliner that I don't know if I'm necessarily going to be able to do with this without getting a really chunky line. Now this is $4.99 and it does not have great reviews on Ulta's website. What are the negative reviews about this? The tip is so chunky, it's hard to get a precise line. Yeah, dry, basically no product, faded looking. Oh no, now I'm scared. Okay, let's just try it. Let's form our own opinions. Ooh, okay. So yeah, the stamping is a little rough because it's so thick. I'm really gonna need to just draw my line. Okay, I feel like the black is decently pigmented. Well, the felt tip is felt tipping. You know what I mean? It's already kind of like bendy, which affects precision. And yeah, I can kind of see what they're saying, but again, I feel like this is like a universal felt tip problem where it kind of dries out mid-application. I am having a little bit of a hard time getting like that precise point. I feel like it looks a little dull when it comes to my standard of winged liner. I think I'm just gonna keep it there. I really don't want to build this up to be crazy, but like I'm just kind of drawing on the back of my hand. And if I do really want to use the skinny point on this, not a lot of color comes out. You really kind of have to push down, which then creates thicker lines. So I definitely see what the reviews are saying. It seems like the base of the applicator is what stays wet. It's like the product's not really flowing well through the tip. Yeah, I'm like not getting anything in the tip. Come on, just allow me to create one more wing. One more wing, all I need from you. You know how they say like winged liner and eyebrows are not twins, they're sisters? This one's coming out like the third cousin. We salvaged it, but it's definitely a little wonky. These are not even. The thing is, it's not the formula. I actually really like how the formula looks where I feel like I got even opaque application. it's the applicator. It's not the richest matte I've ever seen, but that could also have to do with the flow that we're getting from the felt tip. So I think all in all, this is not a liner I would recommend or even use regularly, but I really, really, really want to see Essence potentially repackage these with a brush tip. Next, I have a mascara from a CVS exclusive brand. This is GSQ by Glamsquad's Volume Mascara. This is $9.99. It's supposed to be volumizing and lengthening with no clumps, no flakes. It's supposed to separate. It's also cruelty-free, vegan, and phthalate-free. I still don't know how to say that word. Ooh, okay. We have this Hourglass comb wand. Looks very separating. I will say $10 for a drugstore mascara is pretty good right now. I feel like so many new drugstore mascaras are creeping toward the $15 range. Ooh, I'm already seeing length. Definitely a lot of separating. I really like this brush. No clumping so far. Volumizing, questionable. I'm definitely seeing more length than volume. Wow, whoa, I'm really building up this length. There is something to be said though about like balance between length and volume, because sometimes if you only have lengthening happening, then you end up looking like you have kind of skinny lashes when you don't. Whoa. Do you see this? That is crazy. Oops. No, I got some on my... Miranda, what did you think was gonna happen? Okay, I am impressed. So here's a little trick. We're gonna take a clean eyeshadow spoolie. This mascara should be dry by now. We're just gonna kind of pick at it. Gone, no smearing. That is why it's so important to wait for it to dry, because then you can pick it off and it won't turn into a black smudge that ruins your eyeshadow. I'm pleasantly surprised. I don't think I've ever heard anyone talk about this mascara, let alone the brand very much here on YouTube or like in the beauty community. So now I want to explore them more. Have you tried any of the products from this brand? Let me know in the comments. I don't have any new contours to try, but I will be using my new favorite. This is the Revolution Ultra Cream Bronzer in medium. Hello, cheekbone. Okay, I'm really excited to try this next product, which recently went viral on TikTok. This is the Hard Candy Selfie Cheek Tint. This is a universally flattering blush that works with the pH of your skin to determine the perfect pink. So this has jojoba oil and vitamin E as well as vitamin C in it. It seems like a pretty thin formula. Okay. I'm just gonna dot it on. Oh, it's like automatically going on pink. I must just be very pH-y. Yeah, this is pretty bright. I'm really gonna try to blend this out with my fingers. I will say that because it's kind of got this oily consistency, it looks really beautiful on the skin. It does kind of give you that radiant, dewy type look. Okay, I am able to blend this. It's not looking as crazy as I thought it was going to be, but very noticeable. It feels sort of like a dry oil, if you've ever used a dry oil on your hair, where it has a little bit of that oily, like cushiony texture, but it sinks in and it doesn't feel goopy or super oily on the surface of your skin. So I'm curious to see how this is gonna dry down. Let me just do it again on the other side. Yeah, the color is like immediate. Is it because I'm warm in here? How the heck do these things work? A sponge would probably also be a good way to apply this, but I mean, the fingers seem to be doing well. It's blending out really evenly, despite the craziness that was our foundation and concealer layer today. I like it. I like it. It's a pretty flattering shade, I'm not gonna lie. Oh my God, I just spilled, help. Okay, so this formula is so thin that it just like ran out of the tube when I tipped it, not like a lip gloss or something like that. There's a lot of pink on my leg now, and also like a deep fuchsia in my rug. It happened to me, so it won't happen to you, right? Well, that is some valuable information. This is not leak proof. Okay, hold on. I need to get this stain out of the rug while it's still fresh. Now, the Hard Candy blush definitely gave the skin a little bit of a radiant look. I love this naturally highlighted vibe. It's not dewy though. Like it's set into the skin. It's not tacky at all, but there's radiance to it. But we're gonna add a little more. This is the hashtag Glowdient makeup palette from Touch in Soul, which is a K-beauty brand that is relatively new to Ulta online. It's also in select CVS and on Amazon. So this is a highlighting palette, and we have 5 different shades that we can either apply separately or swirl them together. I'm gonna focus on these 3. Ooh, okay. I love statement highlight. That is so pretty. There's definitely shimmer to this, but it's very, very fine. This is much more of a pigment forward highlighter versus relying on the shimmer to do the highlighting. Okay, they call this the Pretty Filter Glowdient Makeup Palette. It is $34. That is kind of high for drugstore. And this is a drugstore brand. Like I said, they're available in CVS. I'm curious what you think of these brands kind of entering the drugstore market, but the prices are a little bit of a sticker shock from what we're used to seeing. You are also getting a lot of product in this palette. The last product I have to test is a long-lasting glossy lip stain from e.l.f. This is their glossy lip stain in the shade Cinnamon Dreams. Not sure how well this is gonna match our look today. This is so tiny. Okay, I was definitely expecting this to be like the size of the box, but it was like sitting on top like that. This looks like a mini product. How much did I pay for this? $6. I mean, ooh, actually this might work out very well for the look that we created. Now, my lips are chapped. My lips are dry. That always happens to me when I'm sick because I've been breathing out of my mouth for so long. The pigment's catching a little bit on the dry areas. There is almost like a lip oil quality to it. Since this is a stain product, blotting does kind of help it set, so I will kiss the back of my hand. Oh, the transfer's not awful. It's not like really, really dark. Yeah, but once you blot it, there's no glossiness left, so. But I am already seeing the stain set in. I will say that you should exfoliate before you put this on. It doesn't look great on top of my chapped areas. It's just like a little darker, like it caught on the flakiness of my lips. Now that the gloss is gone, no transfer. This was a roller coaster of hits and misses for sure, but the key players really brought it home. I wanna know, have you tried any of these products and what was your experience with them? Tell me in the comments below. Today's shout out goes to Samantha. Thanks for being a member of the Slashed Squad. And join me over in this video next where I talk about newly discovered drugstore makeup favorites and big disappointments. I'll see you over there. Bye.